How you doing?
How's it going?
What's up?
So, how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
So, I know it's still very early, but what's this last week and a half been like for you? Just adjusting from being a draft hopeful to a draft pick to now in rookie minicamp.
I really just try to take everything a day at a time. To be honest with you, we got here yesterday. Flight got delayed twice, so we're kind of late getting up here. But right now, I'm just taking a day at a time, trying to study the playbook, trying to make sure I stay in shape, and just keep the ball rolling.
Knowing the role that they have in mind for you, with your ability to separate and all the things that you do so well for them, are there certain NFL receivers that have you grabbed some film on Cole Beasley or Julian Edelman or Wes Welker or anybody like that to sort of start to get a feel for what they want?
No, ma'am. Like today was my first day out here, so we did a walkthrough. Just seeing what coach see what coach does with his offense. Just seeing what he does in offense. Knowing he came from Buffalo, seeing what he did with those guys, and just really just finding my role and just finding my fit in offense.
What have they told you that they expect out of you?
They haven't told me anything. Right now, I'm just playing my role, doing everything day at a time, and just making plays when opportunity presents itself.
Their personnel guys talked about really liking your ability to separate. What allowed you to do that?
Just study film, being able to knowing who I'm going against, and just intake information each play.
Do you think that skill, obviously that translated to Louisville, do you think it can translate to this level as well?
Most definitely. Yes, sir. I definitely do.
Coach McGee, I talked to him a week or so ago, and he talked about your ability to adjust to whatever, just willingness to do whatever it takes. Where does that? I mean, when did you kind of establish that mindset that hey, whatever the team needs me to do, I'm willing to do?
Pretty early. Probably say go back to my Georgia State days. Knowing when the opportunity comes, like I said, when the opportunity comes to present itself, just make the most of it. And when I went to Just Brown's offense, I was just on one side in Coach Brown's offense, but when I went to the Senior Bowl, just showing my versatility and showing that I could play inside and outside definitely helped me.
Did you know when you went to Louisville that you would be able to make that jump as seamlessly as you did?
Sorta, cause when I got in the portal, when I got in the transfer portal, I just did a lot of research and just seeing what Brom did with Charlie Jones and knowing I played the same position as Charlie Jones, it made a lot of sense to me. So I guess you could say that.
Well, the ability to go from Georgia State to Louisville and have success, does that give you a lot of confidence coming to this level that you can make the same type of jump?
I haven't really thought about that. But yeah, I'd probably say yes, sir.
Have you been introduced to the special teams coach here yet?
Yes, sir. I just did a couple gunner drills.
Okay, so that's what he's got you starting out on.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that you didn't return much in your college career?
I can't answer that one. I don't know why.
Must have had a good return ahead of you.
Yeah, or like sometimes coaches might already have the guys that they want back there.
How about any of the current Browns receivers? Have you heard from any of those guys yet? Have they reached out to you?
I've talked to James Prochet. I talked to Mike Woods. I haven't talked to anybody else. I just talked to those two guys.
You're looking forward to kind of learning under Jamari?
Yeah, most definitely. Hopefully, when I get in the room with those guys, him, Judy, Elijah Moore, I'll be able to dissect, and learn different things from those guys, different techniques and different strategies when it comes to, playing football.
How tough is it going to be cracking that group to get some significant players?
I mean, they're all great players. Like I said, I'm a type of guy, I don't mind waiting my turn, and I don't mind playing my role. So whatever the coach need me to do, whatever those guys need me to do, I'm willing to do it.
Why do you think you didn't have any Power 5 offers coming out of high school?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I always feel like I produce, good numbers, but I don't know. I can't say.
Was that really frustrating for you back then?
Sort of, but at the same time, I know God got me, and so just taking my time. And my head coach always told me, don't be afraid to be a big fish in a small pond. So that's something that always stuck to me too. And so, like I said, my opportunity came, I just made the most of it.
You feel like the fact that you're here kind of proved everybody wrong?
I still got a long way to go. But like my job's not finished yet, so yeah, I still take time to learn and dissect stuff and different players.
Jamari, throughout the pre-draft process, there's lots about your route running. Just how much pride do you, or more so, how much of a strength is that for you? And all of your comments just about getting a chance to pick the brains of Jamari
I'm really excited. I think just being in that room, it just speaks a lot of volume itself. Got guys like Amari Cooper, Coach O'Shea. You know, he did a good job today of just showing a lot of film of Amari Cooper, showing how well he wins versus slants in his route running. So I'm just really excited just to be in the room with those guys and just learn from them.
What does versatility look like for you?
Ma'am.
What does versatility look like for you?
Being able to do whatever my coach needs me to do, playing inside, outside, whether that's running down, being a gunner on special teams, being a punt return, whatever they want me to do.
Skill-wise, what is it? Maybe you feel like I still need to work on this. This is an aspect of my game I don't feel comfortable enough with where I'm at.
Definitely my contested catches. I think that was something that I struggled with in my Georgia State days and my time at Louisville.
Is there a receiver in the NFL that you most closely identify with in terms of a comp?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Is there
I watch a lot of film on guys. Like I watch a lot of Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith. Jamari Chase is probably one of my favorite receivers, but I don't really just try to idolize my game after those guys. I just try to, be me.
You talked about adjusting from the lower level of college football to the Power 5. Now you're making another adjustment to the NFL. I know you haven't been out there to really experience it yet, but what are you anticipating maybe are some of the biggest adjustments you have to make at this level?
Definitely playbook. Playbook, understanding my assignment and my alignments. Like playing in the NFL, the hashes, they're a lot closer. You got more field to play with. So just understanding the alignments and assignments.
Good.
Thank y'all.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to sign out finally.
Well, what are your first impressions here of your rookie minicamp?
Feeling great. Ready. Just glad to be back in football season. So me ain't football season, but it getting close for me. I went through all the combine pro days and stuff. So I'm glad all that over training for track athlete for a good couple months. Now I'm back in football shape. So yeah, I just can't wait to get started.
I saw you for FaceTime with Martin Emerson after you got picked. Has he been giving you some pointers or telling you where to live or anything like that?
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about living, but we really just talked about how I'm gonna fit in the defensive scheme. He said he gonna love to get me around here, so I just can't wait to get with him and the rest of the older players, just to learn more from all of them.
I know you were at school a long time, 6 years. Can you explain how that came to be? How you end up playing 6 years?
I honestly was gonna come out last year, but I just didn't feel like I was ready. Me personally, I didn't feel like I was ready to take the next step to the league, so I just decided to go back another year. I mean, free education, so I might as well go ahead and use it, get another degree, and then just finish out as best as I can.
And you got a couple degrees.
Yeah, I got two. I got an undergrad and a master's. So yeah.
What are they in?
My undergrad interdisciplinary study, which is concentration of kinesiology, criminology, psychology, and then my master is workforce education leadership. So yeah.
What does that mean?
Which one?
The workforce.
It means really just I can do anything with it. So I can really be a coach, or if I wanted to, just give me a nice job. So yeah.
And you played for 5 different head coaches?
No, I played for 3.
3?
Yeah. Coach Moorhead. I committed under Dan Mullen.
Right.
And then I committed. Yeah, I never played for him, so I played for Moorhead, Coach Leach, and Coach Arnett.
So you had a lot of coaching changes.
Yeah.
You elected to stay at Mississippi State. Why?
Yeah, just my loyalty, which is speak for itself. With transfer portal and everything now that's going on in college, you have a lot of kids want to dip out, chase the money a lot. And me personally, with some of the my other fellow teammates from Mississippi State, we had selected just to stay and just ride it out till the wheels fall off. So that's what we did.
You seem just, so you're well educated and you've got it all together, but when you look at, some of the stuff in your background, to meet you, you might not think that you are as, you got a master's degree, you might think that you had a little bit of whatever. What's the deal with some of that off the field stuff that you have?
I mean, young and dumb. I mean, it happened to a lot of young people. So I mean, you really can't. I really don't look too much back into it. It's a learning process. Learn from all my mistakes. So that's really just move forward.
What were some of the biggest lessons you took away? Especially because the drag racing is if somebody got hurt.
Yeah.
So
really just
what did you learn from that stuff?
Really just me being more careless of who around me and stuff. Taking precaution. Really just knowing not to play around in cars and like just do more for myself. Just because you got a spotlight on yourself. So, you know, being in the league and then when I was at Mississippi State, having big shoes to fill and being in my role, you got a lot of eyes on you. So just being cautious of everything.
Did you have a lot of experience on special teams at MSU?
Yeah, in the back of the years, I played special team. I've only played special team my sophomore year, and then the years I played a few of it. But I really ain't got too much, so I look to play a lot of special team here, though. Yeah. I mean, I do whatever I need to do to get on the field. So if I got to learn how to play lineman, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
So,
linebackers get a lot of special teams play.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan, most definitely.
What do you know about the Browns linebackers?
Say that again.
What do you know about this group of Browns linebackers?
Shit, that they play fast, physical, and they're gonna get to the ball. So really what coach been telling us about. So really just showing us like what's our job description and everything, which is be the GPS, the navigator. So like control the defense, keep them calm and everything. So yeah.
Do you get concerned that perhaps some teams thought about some of that off the field stuff, and that's why you lasted until the 6th round? And how grateful are you that the Browns really just got to know you as a person and saw that?
Nah, I mean, I don't think it went too much into it. Me personally, I think it's politics. I mean, I can't speak too much on it. So I mean, it is what it is. But I'm thankful for the opportunity that the Browns called me. I mean, I got at the Senior Bowl, I had a good time with Coach F, the safety coach. So I mean, him chopped it up a lot. I had a feeling I was gonna come to the Browns. I just didn't know when. So I mean, he told me they were gonna get me. So I mean, yeah, he wasn't lying. So
You were a big offensive star in high school.
yeah,
You
that's
missed
what I
those
be
days?
telling people. Nah,
You missed those
I mean, I
days?
don't.
How did you end up on defense? Was it
So when Coach Moorhead came in, he had Coach Lukabu with him, and when he was NFL linebacker, NFL coach, so he really like persuaded me over to come to defense, saying I make a lot of money on defense side. So then I just went with the flow, and then after seeing like previous linebackers get drafted and then go on and make money, I was like, I might really have a shot at this. So,
You don't miss scoring touchdowns?
I mean, not really. I get my happiness out of knocking people out. So I mean, that's a positive for me.
Nathaniel, there's this new kickoff rules, I guess, that are going to be in effect for coverage and all that in the NFL. It seems like nobody really knows how that's going to work yet. How excited are you, as you get more into special teams, to kind of be a part of that here from the ground floor?
I don't know how it's gonna work either, but I know it's like we close together, so that means it's just a better impact. So, I mean, like I said, I'm a physical person. I just love hitting somebody, so I mean, I just can't wait to get out there on special team.
How many years did you play with Emerson?
Emerson, 3.
3?
Yes, sir.
Were you particularly close, or just teammates, or?
We were close. We hung out outside of football, and then on the field, I was their leader, so they had to listen to me. But now I gotta look up to him since he an old head. So yeah.
Did you follow him once he got here?
Yeah, most definitely. I've been following. I've been following Brown since he came up here. I was following Seahawks when my old offensive lineman, D lineman went up there, Cam Young and Charles Cross, and then I'll be following Cowboys with Dak Prescott, of course, and then another linebacker Tyrus Wheat. So yeah, I follow every team.
That far to be a teammate with Prescott, do you?
Nah, I mean I just watch it. I just watch him. I plan on sacking it. Don't quote me on that, but I'm gonna get my team with that.
Surprised you fell to the 6th round?
Surprise? I mean, it is what it is at this point. I mean, just be grateful for the opportunity. I wasn't surprised. I definitely was emotional, though. Me and just seeing my mom and grandma there when they heard my name get called, and they just started busting out of tears. They really made me break down. Plan was never to cry, but man, cry. So.
The fact that you fell.
Yeah.
Does that give you a little more edge to prove that people have passed up on you?
I mean, I was gonna have the edge regardless. That's just me. My work that to speak for itself. I always play with the edge, just trying to get paid. So really, yeah.
You talk about your physicality, and the Browns mentioned kind of the rare size that you have. Do you feel like you're different than a lot of linebackers in today's NFL just because you are whatever 235?
Yeah, me personally, just because it ain't too many linebackers that can blitz, cover, and stop the run. And me personally, I think I got all 3 of them phases. So.
Do you think the fact that you were older, that you played 6 years, do you think that was part of the reason why maybe some teams stayed away from you?
Nah, I don't know too much about that. So nah. So yeah.
What is that like? The emotions of you sitting there, and names keep getting called. They're not your name, Is it anxiety, or how would you describe it?
I really just describe it as I was laid back, just chilling, just spending time with the family. You know, having the family all around, just spending time with them, just see them, just be happy for me in the moment. And then when my name got called, just seeing all their smiles on their face. So it really wasn't too much to it.
Can you describe your hometown, how small it is?
700.
But is there,
It's
what's
one
the
caution
biggest-
light. What's the big? It's one caution light.
what's the biggest
I don't even think
store?
it worked. The biggest store? Oh, my bad. I think Dollar General.
What is it?
Dollar General.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's Maplesville, small town. Like you pass through Tuscaloosa. Well, you come out of Tuscaloosa and try to go to Montgomery. You wouldn't even know it's there. It's a gas station that I don't know. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it's Maplesville unless you like drive to town, which again is one caution light in the middle of town. So yeah.
You're the only player to come out of there? The only NFL player?
Now, my uncle on my dad's side, Tommy A.G., and then Harold Mara, all them came to the NFL. So.
Do you agree when people say you're just a country boy, like a down home?
Do I what?
Guy? A down home country guy, like that's.
I sound country.
Not too bad. No, you don't. One of the Browns guys, one of the Browns or personnel guys said you were. I think your high school coach said that's. what you
That I'm
were.
a country boy. I mean, I think I'm just a natural person. Yeah, I mean, I got a little city and country in me though. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah.
Did Martin Emerson set the bar pretty high for you in terms of coming in here as a rookie and just knocking it out of the park right away?
Yeah, I think he told the linebacker something about me. So we'll see. We'll see when they all get here what he says. So we'll see how high he set the bar for me.
After you were selected, scouts were saying that one of the big things they liked about you was your intelligence and how quick you pick things up. For you, when you're here now, what are some of the questions that you're asking? What are some of the things you're hoping to take in as you are like a sponge in this coach?
Really just how I can get on the field quicker, how I can learn faster. Really, like you said, just taking everything in, be a sponge, ask the coaches why they doing this, why that. Just ask the question why. That's really what I was taught throughout my draft process. Just ask why behind every question. So yeah.
We got time for one more. He got to leave.
There's always a lot said about just the transition from college to the NFL. Obviously, you haven't been out there yet, especially with the full team. But just what are you anticipating are some of the bigger adjustments that you'll have to kind of experience as you make the leap?
Probably, I honestly don't even know. I probably just say really just being out there with guys that I didn't watch growing up and being starstruck for a while. So yeah, I'm probably that probably gonna be my biggest like emphasis, like getting over. Cause Miles Garrett, I see Miles Garrett, I'm be like, really on his team. Deshaun, I'm really on their team. So yeah, that's probably gonna be like the biggest thing. So yeah, I look forward to it though. So.
Jowon, what's just the emotional ride been like from getting the call a couple weeks ago to now being here for the first time?
I've been on an emotional high ever since. So, it was always a building up to this point and just making sure that I could, put myself in a position to hear my name called. So now I'm riding high on those emotions and ready to attack camp with that same energy.
As Saturday went on, did you think you were going to get drafted?
I always approached it with, the worst expectation. And then if you hear something great, just think of it as a hell of a blessing. So that's how I looked at it. I wanted to make sure I had things in line. I have my family, so, I'm not just thinking of things on a whim. So I wanted to make sure I had things in line, a plan in place, and I just got blessed enough to hear my name called, so now I got to make the most of it.
What's the short version of leaving Virginia and coming back to your hometown? Why did that go about, and why was that important?
Yeah, so what happened was I was like 6 games in, doing well, already had 3 sacks, 20 tackles, feeling pretty good as a nose tackle. But my wife had gotten pregnant with my son. So, the stipend wasn't what it was now back then. So the stipend wasn't there, NIL wasn't there. So I figured we weren't going to be able to support a child on what I was getting there. So, we had a couple choices. She's from Philly, I'm from Cincinnati. So it's either go UPenn or go Temple, or I can go to University of Cincinnati. Both her parents worked, only my dad worked. So I figured we get more help at home. I was able to get back home. I actually picked up a couple jobs and, I was able to make the most of it.
What were those jobs?
I was a manager at a chicken spot called Chicken Cone. Pretty much just, you make an ice cream cone, put chopped up chicken in. It's the wildest thing, but people loved it.
How long did you do that for?
It was during the off season, so pretty much during the summer and into the winter I would work there, and My manager, Kenny, great guy. I mean, to this day, he's a great dude for letting me do that and really just teaching me how to do all that and pretty much letting me provide for my family and my people through that. So it's pretty nice.
The hours had to be tough.
Oh, yeah. So I'm waking up early, getting to practice early, about 6. After 6, you go practice, lift pretty much until about maybe 3, 4, 5. If it's a in-season day or if it's a spring ball day, you're going to 5, 6 o'clock. After 5, 6 o'clock, I'm heading right up 30-minute drive to Blue Ash down there and closing up shop and, working until about, home about 10, 10:30 and make dinner and breakfast, make breakfast and dinner for the next day and, wash, rinse, repeat.
Didn't make you not want to eat chicken?
As much as I can say that stuff smelled delicious, I probably could not eat any of that anymore.
Reading about you, Jowon, it just seems like talking about your family now, that's a big part of who you are. So can you just talk about how you met your wife's name and your kids and all that?
Yeah, so as soon as we touched down at UVA, we met. So I got there, I think, June 6th, right after my state track meet. She got there early as like a transition program. So literally the first day we got there was a campfire at our dorm. Met her, saw her then. Then it was kind of petered off a little bit. But then it ran back up and, we kind of got there into the second year of the season. My son popped out, so it was like, well, time to grow up. And, after that we convened together, made a pros and cons list of staying versus leaving. So we decided that it would be best to leave. Left, went to Cincinnati, and then, I figured it would only be right. And, well, hey, you already are having my son. Let's get married. So that's kind of how things fell into place, and we've been killing it since then.
And then, I was gonna say, how much of a sense of urgency is that kind of created in trying to get to this spot right now?
It's been a heck of one. Just really understanding how to manage time, even in the sense of, just with a kid, let alone having a wife and somebody else in your house. Just understanding the importance of time. So it's definitely been slapping me on my behind, trying to have me really be urgent on things.
What were the kids' reaction when you got that call and told everybody I'm going to the Browns?
I would love to say that they were, daddy. But my kids are my kids. They like to do what they like to do. So I'm freaking wrangling them. They're running around acting crazy. Mind you, they go to bed at 7:30 promptly. So they're running around, my daughter and son wrestling. So I'm pulling them apart and, I get that call on my phone. Right, everybody sit down. My wife's holding my youngest son and trying to hold them back at the same time. So it was a lot of fun that night.
And how old are they and their names, please?
Mm-hmm. So Jowon, my oldest son is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Rin, my daughter, she'll be 2 in July, and then Zane, my youngest, is 8 months.
It just seems like you have so many exploits off the field, which I'm sure we're going to want to get to, but I know you were on Bruce Feldman's Freaks list last year going into that. What did that mean to make that list? It's kind of widely talked about, at least amongst us, and just talk about your training and lifting and conditioning and all that stuff, how much it's helped you advance to this point so far.
So for me, I'm big on, especially when I was younger, I was big on being really eclectic. And you can be eclectic but be, bad at a lot of stuff. So my thing was be eclectic and find what you're really, really, really good at. I was good at, singing. I was good at academics. I was good at football. I was good at track and field. And, I was good at loving on my family and working. So I took those basically 5, 6 things and then just put my all into it. I love working out even from high school and into college, getting more workouts and extra workouts. I love nutrition. So just taking care of my body, making sure that, I look the way I should move and I move the way I should look. So just making sure I have that and, family, of course, just making sure I have time for them as well. Football, man, I can talk about football for hours, whether it be watching film. I don't play video games or anything. So whether it be staying up late, watching film with my son, drawing up stuff on the board or, even just getting out and walking through and doing a couple club rips on something. So it was really just a matter of trying to put my all into those 5 to 6 things that I really decided to do. And that's pretty much what I'm doing now too.
How does your family and just, what your experience inform your expectations and your drive coming in here as a rookie?
I think it's everything. Everybody has their why, but, it's a big thing to have your why and it's a really big thing to love. It's a really big thing to love football, but it's a little bit different when you have somebody else depending on you. And I got 4 people depending on me immediately. So that kind of amps up the urgency to things and just really makes me take advantage of every single second out there.
Were you receiving calls from your agent in the last round about undrafted offers?
Yeah.
And the ability to choose your own team didn't appeal to you? Or would you rather have been a free agent?
I think everybody's end goal is to get drafted. You know, I love being Cleveland Brown, so shoot. I think, obviously, I walked into it with the expectation of, you know, don't expect anything, and then be proud of a blessing that you get received. And so after that, I mean, no, I wasn't really saying, oh yeah, you know, I'm just gonna forego the last round and be undrafted. That's never, ever, ever been a thought process. I think hearing my name called is something that my family will relish and remember to this day.
How many teams do you know were interested in you?
It was a bunch of them. You know, I don't really know exactly. You know, everything was happening so fast. My son Jowon was taking my phone, and my daughter was biting at my ankles. So you know, it was a lot going on that day.
What is harder, wrangling 3 kids or 42 reps on the bench press?
You know, I'll tell you what, 42 reps on the bench press actually felt serene compared to what those kids put me through on a nightly basis. But, you know, that's why, you know, my wife's a superstar. She's actually wrangling them all right now. So.
What is her name?
Najee.
Okay.
Yes. So, yeah.
So you hope to be here, but as a 7th rounder, you're not guaranteed. So is the family moving up right away? Like, how are you handling it?
No matter what, I keep my family with me. So I'm actually going to look into figuring out and getting a place. And you know, my goal is to outwork and pretty much just put my best foot forward. And, you know, all you can do is control the controllables. You know, you can just be responsible for yourself. But in saying that, family is one of my big things. So I'm keeping my family with me all throughout this process. If I got to break a lease, if I got to sign a new one, doesn't really matter to me as long as my family's with me. And, you know, just really being able to go home and look at that why every time is something big for me.
Now that you're here, what excites you the most about the Cleveland Browns and just being in this city?
I mean, it's big for me coming from Coach Schwartz and Coach Jacques and Coach JT. It's just really big for me coming from a freaking lateral, passive type defense to be able to really just pin my ears back and go. I've never really had the chance. You know, a lot of guys will say, oh, well, he did 42 reps and he squats XYZ. Well, why is he on the line all the time? Or why is he, you know, playing lateral or whatever? And a lot of people don't understand that, you know, if you're a well-coached player, you do what the scheme dictates. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like to do to help my team win and help my team be great. But finally, you know, I get a chance to kind of play at what I think would be my strengths, and that's just attacking the guy in front of me and just really getting upfield and, you know, letting my strength play its part.
What were all the positions you played? 'Cause you change year after year, right?
Yeah, so I started off playing from really a true like reading nose, 0 to pretty much like 2-eye, sometimes a 3-tech and pass scenarios. Then that next year at Virginia, all the way up and down the line. So we did a lot of read front, 4-eye, 4-tech, a little bit of 5-tech and pass scenarios, 0 as well. My next year at Cincy, 5-tech, true 5-tech and pass situations, I scoot down and be a 3. The next year, but beefed up a little bit, was a true read nose, 0-tech, 2-gapping guy. Mind you, it's all the line. So the year after that, this past year, I was pretty much a 5 technique. Sometimes I'd be standing up, sometimes I'd be dropping back in coverage, sometimes I'd be a little 4-eye, you know, attacking that guard's shoulder. But, you know, I just can't tell you how refreshing it is to just be able to, you know, pin your ears back and attack a guy as opposed to doing this, taking the lateral step first.
So you 3 technique here?
Yeah, interior.
So even though you haven't been in that attacking scheme, you think you showed enough on film that obviously you did, that the Browns saw the qualities they were looking for?
Yes, sir, I think so. And I think a big thing for me was just being able to attack the bowl circuit after my last game. I mean, we didn't get a bowl game. So, you know, being able to go to the hula, you know, I'm thankful for them for inviting me to that. And then after the hula, I earned an invite to the Shrine. Thankful for that as well. And just being able to just really attack those guys and beat up on those O-linemen is something that has brought me to this point. I mean, doing all that during the pro day is great too, but actually being able to see a guy go against top-tier O-linemen is something that will, you know, make your case a little bit better, I think.
Did you know anything about the Browns before you were drafted here?
Yes, sir. So my dad's from Detroit. My mom's from Springfield. So we've pretty much been around the whole Midwest area all the time. And, you know, yeah, I've known a lot. I've known a good amount about the Browns.
You didn't play in that 3rd leg at the Senior Bowl?
Hey, if they would have had me, I would have gladly. I would have been down there. I think it was like a 2-day discrepancy. I would have gladly hopped on a flight and went down there. a lot of guys like to opt out of the games. I'm a big proponent of you want as much tape as you can get. So I would have gladly went down there and done that, but I didn't get an invite, so I made the most of my opportunities.
You mentioned knowing what you like and what you're good at, then you said music. Can you tell us about your relationship there?
Yeah, so music has been a big thing in my family. My mother and father, and pretty much everyone on their side, have all grown up with music in their families and singing in church, even singing during concerts and singing and playing in orchestras during, school. I have 4 older sisters. All of them were musically inclined, a little more so than me, I'd say, but they all did different things. So that plays back into me saying I like to be eclectic. I decided to look at all of them and try to do everything. So my oldest sisters, vocalists, but then they were also good at the piano and percussion. Second or third oldest sister, she was a violinist, pretty much. She was great at the violin, and also a great vocalist. She actually does a lot of shows in Kansas City now. My third oldest sister is a vocalist, plays the piano. She played the clarinet all the time. So for me, I just wanted to try to do everything they did. So, I fooled around on the piano. I have a saxophone at home. There's a flute laying around. I have bass guitars, electric guitar. My son broke my electric guitar. I don't have it right now. He actually broke it in half, so I got to get a new one. I had an acoustic guitar. Gave it away to a friend at UVA as like a keepsake. But yeah, just making sure that I kind of keep that around. I like my kids to be able to pass that down as well, so I think it's important.
You weren't like playing at halftime in high school or anything, were you?
Oh, at halftime, no. But I've sung at multiple different, singing for national anthems, had a lot of different solos at different concerts. Even going into college, I had a lot of different solos, a couple different solos at UVA. I was in a couple different courses there. I went on tour in London to sing with an a cappella group at UVA as well called the Hullabahoos. Great time, great guys. Once I got to UC, they actually have a pretty well-acclaimed music program called CCM. So I sang through there and all their courses till I graduated. Then this last year, it's pretty much just been ball. So
you're going to be the star of the rookie show then. We're gonna have that training.
Hey, if you need me to bust a few notes, then gladly.
What events did you run in track?
Oh, I was shot putting discus.
I could have guessed that.
High hurdle sometimes. But
How'd you do?
I was a state placer for disc. So shot was pretty good. I think I PR'd. I couldn't PR in the right time. So got like a 52 and like a random not, didn't matter meet basically. But then once it got time for state qualifiers, I threw like a 49.6 or something crazy. Obviously not the best outcome, but for discus, I was able to throw that thing out there pretty far and ended up placing in state, and it's pretty nice.
Is there a player, current or former, that like you really looked up to, and you feel like you're, I don't want to say the next, but like you model your game after?
So one thing I will say is I was never the guy. I liked watching football holistically, watching everything, even as a young guy. So there was never like a team or a player that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be that. But one guy I can say that always popped out, and one guy that I'll look up YouTube highlights of was always Nathaniel. Just seeing, his aggression towards the game and, his intensity and even technique and just being able to affect the game as a big guy is something that, I take a lot of pride in watching him, Fletcher Cox. I mean, even guys now like Grady Jarrett, just being able to watch guys in my position do things at the high level.
So I'm guessing you haven't been in many locker rooms where there's other guys who are married and have kids. I mean, I know you're not the old guy, but do you ever just feel like the old guy in those college locker rooms and even just around here this weekend?
Yeah, so I mean, shoot. I'm only 22, but I had my 3 kids when I was 21. So a lot of guys you'd call, oh, Uncle Briggs, oh, Unc's coming. Meanwhile, some of these guys are 3 years older than me in college. So I think it'll be refreshing being the young guy again. So we'll see what's happening.
Did you have a college teammate at either place who was married?
Married at UVA, there were a couple. Here at UC, or not here, at UC, I don't think so. Not at least when I was there. He might be married now.
And with obviously starting a family, you switched schools, but you also graduated. When did you get your degree? What's it in?
Yeah,
what
so
went into that?
I was a double major in physics and music at UVA. Also did some computer science stuff there. So, once I transferred, it was really iffy because the portals just opened up. So I transferred, and my academic advisor basically said, you'll have to add 2 extra years to your program, or you could switch to interdisciplinary studies, graduate early. So I switched to that, graduated earlier than she thought. I actually graduated in, I think, 3 years. So I graduated December 2022, got in college in 2019. So to say, graduated with my undergrad, then I got grad certificate in software development. I would gladly go back and get more grad certificates, but the way, mind you, I said I like to be prepared. So, you know, the way jobs line up and qualifications line up, me going and doing that will pretty much be the same level of getting a master's in computer science or computer engineering, because you got to do the same things. So I feel like it'll give me more job flexibility, being able to go back and get something, say like a graduate certificate in cybersecurity, or graduate, because mine is in software development, maybe a grad certificate in just general computer engineering. So just making sure that I, you know, put my hand in every basket I can when I get that.
Going back to the singing aspect and your sisters being in that world as well, but like when you were younger, how did you figure out that you had that talent as well?
Yeah, so I'm complaining about my house. My parents, I mean, our house was like a cacophony of noise all the time. We were making bands in the basement. My sisters were upstairs playing instruments, practicing together, because a lot of them were in school together. We're so close. All of us are like at most 2.5, 3 years apart. Some of us are like 1.5. So they were in the same orchestras and the same choirs. So they're singing, practicing their parts, playing their instruments together. So it was a lot of noise. So, I mean, it was pretty natural for me to just, you know, hop in and see what I can do. And, you know, they'll yell at me, tell me, stop, you don't sound right. And I go to school and get into it and learn, and then I sound perfect with them. So it was just a matter of, you know, learning it from them.